able to experience labor pain. But I think that labor pain is the most painful thing that can happen to any human being, whether man or woman. Men would never experience that. I think that what Madam J. Mensah is going through perhaps is, I honestly think that the NPP, they are still at stage, is it stage 2 or stage 1 of grief, where they are still in denial that the people of Ghana, in the most loud, well, I can't say most loudest, but for want of a better expression, in the loudest way, told them that you are not fit for purpose. What the people of Ghana did on 7th December was to tell the NPP that you are so full of yourself that we don't want you any close to power, whether in the legislature or in the executive. And it appears to me that because of the state of denial that they find themselves in, they are not really, they are not really at a place where they will come to terms with what has happened. Annie, and I want to sound a note of caution to the judiciary that those shenanigans that we experienced in the past 8 years, nobody will tolerate that again. That we all went to the same law school and we studied the same law. That they are not the only people who are so partisan and in a very disgusting manner that they will turn the court, which the people of Ghana have created for themselves as the last resort to please their political godfathers. We all know the facts that is leading us to this morning discussion. That collations were done, declarations were made, and Afenyo Markin, in his quest to be a micro-minority leader to save the party from an embarrassing sink, then goes to connive with Madam Jane Mensah, and then they say that they had to do a recollation. And you see, I'll address the judiciary, I'll address the NPP, but let me address the EC chair first. You see, Jane Mensah, if you haven't given birth before, you may not be able to experience labor pain. But I think that labor pain is the most painful thing that can happen to any human being, whether man or woman. Men would never experience that. I think that what Madam J. Mensah is going through perhaps is more painful than labor pain. She's in so much pain. And she is so surprised that these things are happening because of meetings she had with the NPP, the IGP, and other people calculated to rig election. So she was so damn certain that the NPP was going to win this election. And then here we are. They have just not lost, but lost in the most embarrassing manner that even at the time when the NPP boycotted elections, they had more percentage than when they even participated in an election. They had more seats than when they participated. And so Madam J. Mensah is so obsessed with anything she would do for the NPP to gain something. But you see, her days are numbered. She herself had told us that it is finished. Because she knows, you know that during the collation, now they don't have the strong group, but the National Collation Center, she was asking the British High Commissioner, how is the weather in UK like? She didn't know that she was being, it was coming through the microphone. So it's obvious she wants to go to UK and then continue her life there. Oh, she was asking.
It's not obvious.
Well, so why was she asking for the weather in UK?
She's just asking for asking sake.
Oh, okay.
Because you're a lawyer.
That's what I'm saying.
It can't be
so
obvious.
I'm a lawyer. I'm allowed to make inferences.
Okay. So you're making an inference?
Yes, inferences are very much allowed.
Okay.
Even in taking evidence.
Okay.
So for her to be, why she can't Google the weather in UK? if she just wanted it for an information. So she was asking the British High Commissioner, how is the weather in UK like? So she's more concerned about what she will do for the NPP before she exits the scene. For the scene, it is certain she will exit. But she ought to tread cautiously. And this is where I want to sound a note of caution to the judiciary and those MPP appendages who describe themselves as judges. You know, see, there should be a limit to some levels of unconscionability. See, the judge who sat on the case is called Reverend Justice Joseph Edu Owusubempah. His position as a judge was lobbied for him by Gary Nimako. In fact, he is a friend to Gary Nimako. They have pictures together. Gary Nimako is not the only lawyer who has judges as friends. We all have judges as friends. We sat in classes with people who have become judges today. We have even senior judges who are our friends. Some we even invite you to their parties and whatever. But then there has to be a line drawn when it comes to you exercising judicial authority. That is why it is called judicial authority. First of all, Gary Nimako went to court on an application for judicial review. There is nowhere again that an application for judicial review is done ex parte without notice to all interested parties. Yeah. Then again, Gary Nimako appeared before his friend, who is a judge, nominated and appointed by the NPP, and moved an application for judicial review where the other side was not put on notice, as if that were not enough. Even if the other side was not put on notice, the NDC filed a joinder application and said that you have not put us on notice, but we have heard that these people have come to you ex parte, which is in flagrant breach of the laws. And that's what Kwame Akufu, who is an NPP person, Kwame Akufu is not, he's even related to President Akufo-Addo. So you are not more action from Chebi than he is. But it is so disgusting and nauseating that it ought to end somewhere. This impunity certainly has to. How do you justify that the judiciary should not be cleaned with all these things happening? Who can make a justification that judges should not be touched? Because there has to be a limit to some level of nonsense. If I should put it, there has to be a limit to it. And then and you see, service goes to jurisdiction. We've made this point here over and over. And so to the extent that the other party was not even put on notice, you ought not to have proceeded. Now the other party even brought to your notice that we have filed the joinder, so that if they will not put us on notice, please join us. You didn't even mind them. But you see, despite that flawed process that Kwame Akufu has complained about, the law says that where a declaration is made and a person is aggrieved by the declaration, Annie, whether the source of your complaint or grievance is duress, undue influence, use of unjustifiable force, or any other complaints you have in law, your remedy is to file an election petition after the results has been gazetted. And whether or not duress occurred, it's a matter of both law and fact. And the judge ought to have taken evidence to substantiate those allegations. Where are we going? What is happening to us? And you see, in the lead up to this election, 7 December, I am convinced that the only reason the NDC had over 80 seats, in excess of what we need to conduct business and freely in the House, is because of how the NPP used the court to give that bogus judgment on the vacation of seats. So Ghanaians were like, we are tired. We are giving the NDC a mandate that not the election commissioner can do anything about, not the chief justice can do anything about. It should be so clear for people to be dazed. the MPP, are they not listening? Are they not seeing the results? Can't they see that people are tired of them? That people are tired of the abuse of power, the consistency with which they do these things as if there is no tomorrow? They set very useless precedents and it comes back hunting them, and it seems nobody is learning. And these are the people that we entrusted the public purse, people who cannot exercise discretion when it matters most. And let me also say that I've seen a lot of NDC people worried and saying that we ought not to have asked our members to retreat. We ought to have allowed our members to go and fight. I want to speak to the NDC people. I have, you know, when you come on TV and you are the frontliner, you are the first to receive the heat. So I've received so many calls, so many threats, so many WhatsApp messages from our members asking what is it that it is. I want to say to our members and to the Ghanaian people who voted for us that trust the NDC when we say that we know what we are doing. Going into this election, you had the likes of Lord Comey at the Jubilee House, soon to be Flagstaff House, shouting that "Tumini kitame, memfamomo, tuminu kitame, yemfamomo." Brian Champon consistently, we will never hand over power to the NPP and to the NDC. We will never hand over power. All those men, apparently they didn't even have balls enough. Where are they? Where are they? We will not hand over power. Nanado himself. I will hand over power to an MPP government. Where are they? All of them. Now Nanado says that President Mahama is his friend. He is not his friend. He has never been his friend. He only knows him. He is not his friend.
When did he say he's his friend?
When they went to visit, he said he's known him for 22 years. They are friends. They are not friends. So all those people who kept shouting, so, I mean, arrogantly, we will never hand over power. Now, you know what the MPP people are doing? Now, even, you know me, I'm not honorable. Me, I'm not honorable. I'm not a member of parliament or an assemblyman. Now, even their ministers who are outgoing and things, when they see, they are calling you honorable, honorable. You have to explain to them that you are not honorable. The point I'm making is that the NDC members should keep faith with leadership. We don't want to abuse power in the most nauseating manner like the NPP did and they are doing. That they have just a few days to go. That we will sanitize the system even if it means that we have to sacrifice ourselves as NDC so that we can bring some form of neutrality into this country. We can bring some sort of predictability into all areas so parties are guided. Let them have their day and let them have their NPP members who they have appointed into the judiciary. Let the judges who are friends with lawyers take applications from lawyers who are their friends as if they were taking a memo. Because what this judge did is as if Gary sent him a WhatsApp. As for Gary, he even has he is known for sending WhatsApp and things to judges and things. That's another matter. You should read the expertise in that of how judges describe Gary Limakun. I don't think any judge has described a lawyer in that despicable manner. These guys simply lack conscience. And what I want to say is that we have a plan for the NPP. We would not behave like them. We will not be arrogant and use judicial power and appoint party people and destroy state institutions like they did. Because we are mindful that when people vote for you and in excess of 1.7 million votes for you, it is a valid expectation that President Mahama and the NDC will clean the judiciary, will clean the Electoral Commission, will clean state institutions that ought to have been performing their functions that have been excessively made partisan, that citizens cannot get remedy until they show a certain party card. Today we are discussing the EC. Today we are discussing the judiciary. Ask them. One of the reasons why they lost was that their own appointees were charging party people 20,000, 15,000 to get them positions into military and police recruitment. Something that in the past used to be free. These guys have corrupted the system so much that when you talk about corruption, they can't even tell the difference between corruption and the normal things they do.